to find the Vaishnava sannyasi in this world is very rare. Definitely. A real sannyasi at heart, who wants to serve Krishna and nothing else, who wants to give his heart and body and words to the pleasure of Krishna, who has no more other business, he has no return ticket in the back pocket for going back to the Maya world, and who is faithful to the ideal of serving the Lord, confidential, representative of his spiritual master. You know, thick and thin, they say. When you have somebody you can trust to go through thick and thin. Or they also say when you can steal horses together with somebody, that means you can trust him. So, the fact is to meet a Vaishnava sannyasi in this world, who is of that quality, who has made up his heart, even though sometimes in young age, that I have no more business in this world of enjoyment. Sannyas means civil suicide. It means I'm finished with this material world now. I have no more plan in this world to increase my properties, to establish my name and fame. I'm not even concerned with personal security. I leave that up in the hands of the Lord. When I become sick, I hope somebody is there who's going to help me. I'm not going to have my saving account, so in case I'm getting sick, then, of course, sometimes people have some special mercy, some pension is coming to them because they're old, or something like that, but the devotee don't care for that. He knows whatever will happen, and I'm depending on the mercy. Because if you are actually a servant of Sri Hari, there's no harm accepting some service from others. Humbly, but if, for example, a medical emergency comes, a sannyasi can accept help from anybody because a medical emergency, and even whoever gives that help, he's gaining sukriti. If he is a conscious doctor, he knows that because he wants to help the Vaishnavas. Like we have some doctors in Colombia, they always want to help the devotees, and some other places too. And if they are not conscious doctors, but they just happen to be there, if they help, that is also very good for them. Anyhow, health, that is very much in the hands of karma. What kind of old age are we going to have? What is going to happen to us in old age? And what is going to happen to us after death? We may be a little bit worried about what happens to us in old age, but we are not so worried about what happens to us after death. You know, you may have a quite all right old age, and one day you may die heart attack like that, clean, pop, he fell down and died. But then afterwards he becomes a dog. So he has a bigger problem after death than he had before death. So in this way, we have to be very cautious that what we are doing is really according to the spiritual expectation or teachings which are given to us by our spiritual masters. You see, there were examples, living examples. You know, Srila Prabhupada, he could have gone to any hospital in the world. He could have brought in the most special doctors or whatever. But he was sitting in his room in Vrindavan and chanting the holy name. And sometimes some Ayurvedic doctor would come and give a few advices. You know? Same with Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Same with Srila Puri Maharaj. You know, there are the living examples. Sometimes people think, oh, I have to find a special help or some special trick to get over the difficulties of this world. Hey, we got the stars on our leadership, you know. That's why I feel so confident. I'm a little nobody, but I got stars over my head. And those stars are very, very powerful, spiritually realized persons of the highest adhikar and the highest intimacy. As a matter of fact, empowered agents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are following them. We are having their example. We are having their teachings with us. So that's why I feel confident. Otherwise I would be dead. And these stars have given us relevant instructions on how to do A and how to do B and how to do C as well. So it's not that we are in a scarcity of information and have to find some special Baba somewhere around the corner who's going to give us a special secret which we haven't found out, which our gurus happen to forget to give to us, or something like that, you know. That's not our situation. We are in a very lucky situation. We have the best lobby in the spiritual world on our behalf. All we have to do is to be sincere and humble and full of love. That is what we have to do. Because what's the use if you're having a great philosophy, but you're still in the mood of arrogance? Dambodarpa bimanascha, krodam parushyam evacha. Oh my God. Demoniac qualities still, mistreating others, harshness. That's not interesting. So, we have a very good guidance in this world. Our spiritual master is very merciful. He has gone to Krishna, he is with Krishna. And don't forget one thing. The grandson is getting more affection than the son from the grandfather. So you can be sure that these great souls, they are all concerned with you. That is the nature of love. The grandfather is concerned with his disciple, or with his grand disciple, very much. This is natural, and it is confirmed by our sampradaya, by the teachings, but it's the fact. So Srila Prabhupada, he created some disciples, and now he's creating some grand disciples. So, if anybody of you has a japa today and shaven head or any type of special devotional clothes, or doing some puja, doing some worship, yajna, giving classes, writing on the internet about Krishna, if any one of you does anything like that, well, this is only because of Srila Prabhupada. In that sense, we are clear because of Srila Prabhupada. But of course, if you ask Prabhupada, he would say, no, it's because of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And one time Srila Prabhupada said, all I learned from Srila Maharaj. Which some people, they don't like to hear that, oh, Prabhupada is so great, how can he have learned anything from anybody? But you know, even Krishna goes to school. Krishna went to Sandipani Muni and he got his lessons there. He was very happy. He was learning and he was with his classmate Sudama Brahman. So very beautiful. So Prabhupada also went to school. Of course he read all the books of the previous acharyas and he was a great scholar by nature. Prabhupada so scholarly. Even though some people say he could have been a greater scholar. Well, maybe he didn't do as much study as somebody else, because he was simultaneously he had a business to take care of and a family to take care of. He wasn't a Naishtika Brahmachari. He had a family and children, and in this way he passed a good part of his life, no? So, but still he was bold enough to publish an English magazine, which was not his home mother tongue, you know, but he was bold enough to go and publish books in English. And you know, Prabhupada, he struggled to do that. That wasn't an easy job. English editing, that's also not easy. So all in all, it is very serious issue. What Prabhupada did for us it's so exclusive and wonderful. So he wasn't very much with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur personally, but he did live with Srila Sridhar Maharaj for years together. And every afternoon at 3 o'clock, Prabhupada closed shop to go and study with Srila Sridhar Maharaj for years. So it's very simple to say. Prabhupada said to all my Shiksha gurus, well, Srila Sridhar Maharaj definitely is one of them, So he would say, all the glory belongs to him. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he would say, come on, you empowered by Mahaprabhu himself. Why you say this? So in this way, when the devotees, they compete with each other, no, it's your grace, it's your glory. He says, no, not mine, it's your grace. In the materialistic world, it says, it's my credit, it's my credit. He says, no, not your credit, my credit. It's exactly the opposite. The opposite. They want to take everything for themselves, and the devotees, they want to give everything to the other. That is their particular nature, their emphasis, their wish. They want to give everything to everybody else. This is the particular part where they are very victorious, because the devotees, they insist that I am nobody, I have no qualification, I don't even have a drop of love for Krishna, I'm like that, but I have to go on with the service of my Gurudev, because what else can I do? I have no other choice. I have nothing else I want to do except the service of my Guru. That is my happiness, this is my life, this is my soul. I'm staying there. Well, maybe you meet another Guru, he has more disciples. Maybe he has very great buildings. Maybe you meet another Guru who has more learned. He has more services done in the world, or whatever. But you have to decide whether you want to be a servant or you want to be a master. When you jump over your Guru, you don't want to be a servant. Then you're becoming the master. That's a very dangerous position. It says one should not jump over his Guru. Because if you do so, who's going to help you afterwards? So in this way, our spiritual master has given us some service to do, and we are trying to do that. Are we qualified? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't feel qualified for anything. But I cannot say I'm not going to do my service. Like, for example, I was giving initiation on behalf of Srila Prabhupada when I was living in Sweden, 1973, 74. Giving initiation means I was conducting the fire sacrifices. I was choosing who is going to be initiated. I was training them up in Bhakti Yoga. Then I wrote to Prabhupada, please, there's a very nice candidate here. Would you accept him as your disciple? Srila Prabhupada would return, would say, yes, I'm accepting him. And then I would do the ceremony and give him the japa Prabhupada had sent. In this way, I had the full responsibility for those new devotees in 1974. Was I qualified then? Well, if anybody of us is qualified, it's by the grace of Srila Prabhupada. That's my point here. And if any other Guru is qualified, it's because of the grace of his Guru. So that's why we should not be too shy in preaching. Because if I'm too shy, if you send me out to Bolivia to open a temple where I'm going to hide in a room, so they sent me here, but I don't know what to do, I'm not qualified. Well, then how is Krishna consciousness going to spread in Bolivia? So if you're sent somewhere, then you go there and you say, okay, my Guru sent me here, now let me print something so I can distribute to the people to tell them about my Guru. So that's really the sum and substance what you do when you preach. You tell about the one you love, the one you trust. You speak about him. This is preaching. That is the connection. Guru, Shastra and Sadhu, no doubt, are the backing bone of all this. They give the support and they show which way to go. But in practical life, you want to know who you're going to obey. Are you going to obey somebody? So, for example, in practical life we do practical things. So who's going to tell us what practical thing to do? Well, there's always somebody who has to take the responsibility. If I say, oh, you're so lucky fellows, you're all disciples of Prabhupada now. Now please you all figure out by yourself what you got to do. That would mean I would abandon you. That would be a treason. Because you cannot figure out what Prabhupada wants you to do, because you have to serve somebody. It is the service to the servant, to the servant, to the servant, to the servant. We are nobody, but we have to serve. Service is our life. Service is our soul. Somebody serves here. Somebody serves in Dauji Mandir. Somebody serves in Colombia. Somebody serves in Peru. Somebody serves in this mission. Somebody serves in that mission. But it is all service. But if you don't do any service, then this is not a tangible relationship. There must be a tangible relationship. Spiritual life is praying for service. That's the ABC. Don't make it more complicated than it is. The ABC is I'm praying for service, then the service is coming. And the biggest service is that you have to take care of others. Take it for sure. That is the real tough service, because you give me the service, okay, let me broom this place every day. Great. Haribol, I have my devotional service. So all I have to do is get up in the morning, take the broom and sweep the floor. And I'm very happy and I'm doing my devotional service. I may do that for 10, 20 years until I die. Very nice. Very beautiful, stable servant. Huh? He did what his guru told him. But my guru, my God, he gave us service. Oh. He said, you open a temple, you give shelter to people, you instruct them according to the Vedas, you train them to be leaders so that they can go out and open again and give shelter to others. Then you look after them that they're doing it appropriately. Then you push the purity, you push the literature, you push the deity worship, then you take pilgrimages to India, you make a place of pilgrimage. Prabhupada gave us a list of things to do. God, you are busy if you accept that list, You're busy for the rest of your life and maybe many more lives if they are. What to speak of. Prabhupada didn't tell me make a homepage because there was no internet at those days, no? But he taught me that the printing press is the Brihat Mridanga. So, by my own intelligence, if I have any, or the intuition, I realized that the internet is the Mahabrihat Mridanga, because by that I can go into other people's houses and people can contact me so easy. I don't have to even ask money from the people. I just tell them, please, come to my site and read about this valuable treasure. I have something, in that internet sense, there's something very unique to it, that each and every page has an equal value. So by the Sukriti, a person will find what is for him. No doubt. But we have to put that in there, which is our affection for our Guru. We have to put our affection for our Guru noticeable in the internet. Because everybody who goes in the internet, what they're looking for? They're looking for affection. They're looking for real love. They're not looking for technical information about motors or computers. Maybe sometimes they're looking for that, but basically every soul is searching for love. So because of that, they can find your love for your Guru and for Krishna, and then they will be attracted. Because love is attracting. That is what makes somebody. And then, if somebody has love for Srila Prabhupada, if somebody has love for our Guru Varga, then he will want to do service. Then you have to guide the person how to do service. That is your business, to look after them and give them service. So, Srila Prabhupada didn't tell us to broom Seva Kunja. He brought all of us. He didn't tell any one of his disciples, you take a broom and every day you sweep Seva Kunja. He didn't. He gave us more service. Much more tasking, much more demanding. So that is our Guru Dev. That is his mission he has given to us. And we are trying to do whatever is within our capacity. So Srila Prabhupada is very kind. He has accepted us. And we feel very, very glad. Now, we feel very intimately connected with those devotees who are working inside the family. But we are also generous in a sense, or it's not the proper way to call yourself generous, but we are very affectionate and very appreciative of all those devotees who do their service in their mission. No, you shouldn't think, oh, only the devotees who are here in our mission, they are great, and others are lesser. That is a very silly mentality. No, devotee is devotee. How good a devotee is, well, that depends on how good he is, how surrendered he is to his spiritual guide. That's where it's all going to be decided. Devotees don't have an Olympic competition of seeing who is the best devotee. Devotees have the desire to help others. Devotees have the desire to make beautiful things for Krishna. And they're doing that. And it is fantastic. We are so happy about it when any devotee does anything for Lord Krishna. That's really wonderful. So our spiritual master has been so kind to give us a chance to serve him in so many different fields. And I know, like for example, already I cannot see many devotees. Okay, maybe I see them once a year. What is this, seeing a person once a year? That's not very much guidance I can give. Of course, I'm trying through the chats and so, but I realize that they are depending 100% on the other local devotees, on the other pure representatives of Srila Prabhupada who are in different places. And there are not many, but there are some. Even those amongst the devotees you live, you have to choose those who are the real ones. Maybe not everyone is a real one. I mean, Prabhupada said in several occasions, he said to his disciples, you are not all devotees. Some of you wear tilak, you wear dhoti, but you are devotee of Kali. You're just interested in money and in fame, or no, what he said, in sex life. You're just externally opposing. Now the humble devotee says, oh my God, he's talking about me. He caught me. The humble devotee. But the matter of fact, power, he said, power and money you're interested. So he said that to his disciples, to a group of GBCs sitting, walking with him. So, the fact, I mean, if Prabhupada had such people in his direct following, I wouldn't be surprised if a few are coming to us too, So who's real and who's not real? Well, the time will tell. You cannot just go by the looks. It's not all gold what shines. But you have to choose amongst the devotees those who are most sincere, most surrendered, most enthusiastic, most loving, most compassionate. And you stick with them and everything will be working out fine. Because they will give you the best example. And then you also read, now, besides surrendering and helping those great devotees in your surrounding, you also have to think that you have a personal relationship with your guru. And maybe your guru wants even more from you than these people around you are doing. So in other words, one also should individually endeavor to become the best of the devotees. The most humble, the most surrendered, the most working, the most responsible. That is a personal decision. How serious of a devotee you are. How good is your sadhana? How deep is your prayer? Can anybody tell the other chant better? Well, some people, I have heard people, they chant. You can hardly make out a holy name when they chant. But They chant from the heart. Maybe inside of them, they're pronouncing very nicely the name, and Krishna's giving them the mercy. It's very hard. But okay, if somebody has grossly misspells the holy name, you may humbly say, Prabhu, what about pronouncing a little bit clearer? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. But this is not so important. I mean, I heard a tape, a Prabhupada chanted japa, and in some of the mantras, he didn't say Rama Rama or Hare Hare, he just said Rama Hare, something like this. So, you see, even the pure devotees sometimes leave out a name in the mantra. So, what is all this, The chanting is from the heart, from the core of the heart. This is the reality, the fact. So we are very concerned. We can't say, hey, you are not chanting nicely the holy name, because you don't know. Nobody knows who is chanting the holy name in the purest way. But it is always said that you have to chant purely. Shuddhanam. You have to chant name of God. How? So many chanting name of God. All the musicians now chanting, Nina Hagen chanting name of God, and Madonna chanting name of God. Everybody's chanting. So what? So what is this? Well, we don't know. Maybe they're getting the full mercy of Krishna. How do we know? Says, but she's a Mayavadi. Maybe she's a Mayavadi, but she's chanting, and she has done some service for devotees, so maybe Krishna is overseeing her philosophical misunderstanding. How do we know? But one thing is for sure. We know that you should chant under the guiding principle of the Shikshastakam. So if you have any personal inquiry how to chant better, well, read the Shikshastakam. It's clear. Very clear. Very, very clear. Very, 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 very clear. And you have no attraction for the holy name, and that's very clear. Nam Nama Kariba Udani Vishara Shakti. And you have a problem with your humility, okay, Trinata Bisanichana. And you still have some lingering desires inside of you, okay, Nadamam Janam Sundaram Kavadam Vajakadisha Kamaye. So it's all dealt with. And then who are you? I am considering myself just as a particle of dust at the lotus feet of Sri Guru Rak. So the mentality of a pure devotee, it's there. It's in the Shikshastakam. The first thing we give to somebody is the Shikshastakam. So now you read it, now you make out something. Somebody says, I realized the real meaning of the Shikshastakam, and you guys didn't. Nobody can say that. Only if grace descends upon you, then you will understand the meaning of the Shikshastakam inside your heart. Only grace, descending grace, our only hope. What else you have there? Nothing, my friend. Nothing. But if a person is sincere, he may be a grihasta, he may be a sannyasi, and he has this chanting and he reads the Shikshastakam, he may realize what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is writing. And he may be going right back home, back to Godhead. You understand? It's not up to A or B or C. There's an individual call and an individual response. And the grace is ye yatamam papatyante tangs tataiva bhajami aham. The individual response will be to your individual effort. Okay? I can say, hey, you are in Maya, you're never getting up for Mangal Arti. Okay. We should get up early. But then somebody said, sorry, I can't get up for Mangal Arti because, all day they're disturbing me and I can only do my internet work at the night when the line is not disturbing. So in this way I have asked my guru and he has given me permission to do so. So please excuse me that I'm not in the Mangal Arti. That may be so. I know some cases. I know some other devotees, they are actually preaching until 12 or 1 o'clock in the night. Preaching, not talking prajalpa, not doing nonsense. And then, like Srila Narayan Maharaj in Hungary, he used to write for the magazine. He wrote at night, because the only time he had peace to write. You can't write when somebody comes in and out your office all the time. So he wrote at night that he had a special program. So that these things exist, it's not all black and white. Spiritual life has many, many, many ways how it's presenting itself. But of course we are training up the devotees with sadhana bhakti. We're training them up with the basic understanding, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam. This is our teaching. This is our life. This is our happiness. So we go on in this way. So in this way, we pray to you. We pray to you very much from the core of our heart. We pray to you that you may give us your grace and help us to realize Srila Prabhupada's dream within our realm of influence. Help us to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's wish by your understanding and by conversation. That's why I'm a believer in Ishtagosti. I believe in that. Devotees are meant to understand and feel, realize, speak, and coordinate the efforts of devotional service. I believe in Ishtagostis. I don't think Ishtagostis are some luxury or some entertaining program, something like a therapy, occupational therapy. No. For me, Ishtagostis, heartfelt, hard-worked Ishtagostis, good accounting, finding out what's going on, how is it running. For me, this is very substantial. I know that in those meetings, real transcendental plans can be developed and intelligent people feel inspired. This is a team. Here you can participate. Of course, some people come, they think they know everything, and that really they have no experience. Some people are a little bit spacey or puffed up. But the Ishtagosti will put them in their place. For example, somebody in the Ishtagosti says, blah, 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 blah. Then they may say, well, Prabhu, what is your service you're doing for this group? So, well, I'm not doing anything. Well, first do something, then say something. Something like this, you know. I mean, but the Ishtagosti is a life thing. The Ishtagosti is the platform of spiritual participation, awareness, check and balance. The leaders don't become so puffed up. They understand whatever I'm saying and doing, it will be checked upon. It will be verified, whether it's truthful or not, whether it's beneficial or not, etc., etc. You know, dictatorships, with a very good dictator, they're sometimes more efficient. If there's one guy who's the star, no? Self-proclaimed star usually, because and he says, okay, Prabhu, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Don't argue, do it. You do this, you do this, you do this. Okay, when you finish, come back. Now you do this. This type of a dictator, if he is pure at heart, he's very efficient. He can really get things done. But there's a problem with the dictatorship in Kali Yuga, that if he is not pure, then everything will break into pieces and nobody can check on it. And nobody can protect the thing from going down the drain. So, if you want to tell people what to do, first gain their trust and love and confidence, and not in any other way. Like if you do what I say, is because I know how to treat you. Is because I am maintaining a relationship with you. It is because I am ready to be sensitive to your issues, to your feelings, to your ideas. Because you're not doing the service, I hope, because you fear me. Because if you do all these things just because you fear me, oh God, I'm going to go into this well and disappear, you know. I don't want to live in this world, make people fear me and do things out of fear. Thanks. Huh? This is not my I cannot accept that. Of course, respect may be there, and that should be respect. And also, the rascals, a little fear they may have. The rascal may say, oh, if Gurudev sees me with my marijuana here, he's going to throw me out. Yeah, you may fear so. And if I catch you with marijuana, I am going to throw you out, because I don't want my temples to become the places of drugs and other nonsense. I prefer to stay with a few real devotees than with a whole bunch of flakes, cheaters, you know. But maybe I catch you with marijuana, I say, this is the last time I see you here with marijuana, otherwise you have to go. I will try to get you out of the marijuana, out of the lying, out of the nonsense. But it's like that, no? So some little fear may be there in order to protect the principles of Dharma. Okay, but otherwise devotional service cannot be executed under the pressure of fear. This is not devotional service. This is some perverted situation. So therefore, I don't like dictators. I like team workers. And those who are team workers, they will be authorities by command, not by demand. Not they say, you have to do what I say because I'm the boss. No. They will command authority because they're doing things so nicely and they're so good. And when they say something, others say, yes, you're the representative of the Guru. Yes, Guru Dev said it. I'll do what you say. And then they become team workers, you know. There are some devotees, they hardly ever talk to me, but they're very good devotees. Why? Because they're talking with the sannyasi there or with the local temple president, so they don't relate to me. But they're doing very good service. You know how I know who's who? I come to a place, I just look at people's eyes. I say, Of course, I also know what service they're doing. I'm not just coming there and looking at a crystal ball. I look at the list, who's doing what in that temple, no? I'm concerned with what is being done and who does it. But I'm saying whether how good, how happy they are in their devotional life, usually a look in the eyes is enough for me. And when I see an emergency in the eyes, I will immediately pay attention to that if I can. Or discuss it later or something, you know. And if I see they're not happy with their representative of mine, then I will also attend that. If they think that the representative of you is nonsense, he's doing bad things, I have to take care of that. That is my duty. To you and to them and to everyone. So in this way, you can see, actually, it's a great responsibility to have people under your care. You have to be a guru. You have to be a servant of the Guru. Only the servant of the Guru is the Guru. So you have to be the servant of the Guru. Then you're also a Guru. You have to be a disciple. If you're not a disciple, how can you be a Guru? What a bogus Guru will that be? He's not even a disciple. He doesn't love his own Guru. He doesn't obey his own Guru. How is he going to be Guru? Anyhow, this is all a mystic thing. Spiritual descent is a mystical thing. Very, very mystical and very beautiful. Because it is serving the truth, it's serving Krishna, and it is serving the only common cause for all living entities. Sri Krishna is the lover of all. Therefore, you cannot have a philosophy which is in favor of the man but against the women. You cannot have a philosophy which is in favor of the Indian devotees and against the Westerners, or vice versa. That's not philosophy. That's bogus. You cannot have a philosophy which is favoring the hard workers and not helping those who are weak. Yes. Love for all is love for all. God has love for all. So you have to understand spiritual love. It's very wonderful. It's something very unique. It's something very great. Spiritual love. This is our life, our lifeline. Spiritual love forever. So we are serving in that world, in that realm of love. We're so happy. So I feel very fortunate that I'm here with so many sannyasis. I know we cannot stay together too long, because there's also a saying, too many sannyasis spoil the sacrifice. Because then too many heads, They also have another saying, too many cooks spoil the soup. So Krishna has enough space of action, and leaders need something to lead, something to organize. This is they do that, they like it, it's good. And so sometimes we come together to charge our batteries and to get enthusiastic and to realize how great a job we have to do. This is a real big job we got. And it is the truth. Istagosti is where the sannyasis come together, is where the Matajis come, where the representative of every department comes. And don't think, for example, we cannot practice any prejudice. For example, the opinion of Gauri is for me of the same value as the opinion of Srila Maharaj. There's no difference. I'm not going to say, this opinion is the truth because it comes from Srila Maharaj, and this has not much value because it comes from so-and-so Mataji. This is nonsense. The truth is the truth. It doesn't matter who is it, who says it. So I want those people who take responsibility, and they make me very happy because I know they have future. We have all a wonderful service to do. There is service for everyone. And we are all protected in the association of devotees. In the association of devotees we are protected. Only there. That's why people, when they're in Maya, they don't like the association of devotees. Because they know, now I can't be so independent. Now I have to follow orders. Now they're going to find out that I'm in Maya. So association of devotees is a protection. Istagostis is a protection. Every week we must get together and think, how is our program going? Where are we failing? For example, we were discussing the elements, what you call inbound tours. How to organize them well. How to have a team of the inbound tours we can rely on, which really works, which makes it wonderful. What is our duties to make the inbound tours a great success? There's many elements, because in a temple like Vrindakunja, so many things are mixing. Visiting devotees are mixing, tours are mixing, projects are mixing. Sometimes you may need the pujari for some other service, then the pujari service has to be looked after by somebody else. Like that, no? It requires lots of professional thinking and lots of respect for each other. As soon as we come into the Istagosti and we don't respect the other members, hey, that's not possible. You cannot live husband, wife, if you don't respect yourself. As soon as there's no respect, there's a mentality of offense. It doesn't work. You know, there may be different opinions, and that may be sometimes inefficient. Paramahansa Maharaj may say, this should be a stone. And Srila Maharaj should say, no, this must be marble. This would be much better with marble. He said, no, stone is the best. So there must be space for different opinions also, that's clear. Our life is full of opinions. You have to have respect for the other opinions, and finally something will be decided. Sometimes it may be your way, sometimes it may not be your way. What is the big deal? Krishna may like with stone and Krishna may like with marble. Who cares, you know? Of course we want things beautiful, but sometimes devotees fight whether it should be marble or it should be stone or something like that, no? They actually fight. They say, oh, you have no idea. Who are you? And they look at each other with disdain. I'm just giving an example, of course, no? It's silly. It's absolutely silly. We should never disdain another person. In English, in Spanish we say menospreciar. We should never think another person's ideas is not valuable. He may not be so experienced, but sometimes a lesser experienced person has a better idea than the one experienced. Is that possible, Srila Maharaj? Is it possible that a lesser experienced person has a better idea than a more experienced person? Yes? Definitely. Many times. Many times those who have experienced, they're set in old ways and they can't see the new ways. Just like some of the Gaudiya Matacharyas I'm talking to. They're very sweet. And then I say, Maharaj, what about the internet? You have an email? They have a very a very spiritual look. Email. Well, somehow or other, nobody has shown them yet. I mean, when Guru Deva Tulananda, I tell that joke sometimes, when I told him get a computer, it was unbelievable. He didn't want it. Finally, I gave him one for free. Here is your computer. Then I went on a tour, he gave it to somebody else. Then I came back, what happened to your computer? Oh no, I gave it to somebody else. Hey, that was for you, I gave this to you. Okay, I gave him a second one. The second one was stolen. So again, I said, Gurudeva Tulananda, you are a writer, and the writer needs a computer. This is the age of writing on computer. You don't write on paper because they're typing it again, it makes double work. Okay, but he was not agreeing. He didn't want it. Finally, when he got his third computer, then he said, well, let me try. And within 2 weeks, he would never leave his computer anymore. And ever since, until now, he has made so many books on the computer and never left it. If you want to take the computer away from Gurudeva Tulananda, now he'll get angry. So, I've seen it, how people, they need a little experience. Paramahansa Maharaj, the computers, and similar story. So it's like that. So sometimes if we don't bring the young people in and trust them, we get stuck in the old ways. We don't see the new technologies, we don't see the new ideas. That's very bad. But if the young people think the old people have no value because they don't know, that's another big offense. So what's the answer? Ishta Gosti. Come and explain. Come and show. Nowadays in the Gaudiya Math, there's at least 8 or 10 different missions with home pages. More probably. And some of them have several home pages. This story is totally changed. When we started WBA, nobody had a home page. Only ISKCON. But otherwise, nobody had a home page. So things have changed. And they keep changing. So in this way, Istagosti is the lifeline. And the sannyasis, they're the leaders. But they have to be very, very spiritually democratic. That is my way of seeing it. They have to be spiritually democratic. Now, actually our process is not democratic. Our process is autocratic. Means that Krishna has the last word on everything. If there's any question, Krishna will have the last word. And representing Krishna in that faculty is the Guru. So I always say to the devotees, before you fight, you ask me. They say, oh Guru Deva, we don't want to bother you. But you like to fight, right? So I am saying, before you fight, you ask me. If you give trouble to me, no problem. Better you give trouble to me before you fight than you give trouble to me fighting, okay? If you have any trouble. That's my family. I don't think it's necessary to fight. Of course, sometimes some fight may arise. Then we will also eliminate the fight. Because of the uncontrolled mind, sometimes some person gets loose temper. He loses his self-control and some difficulty arises, and then we fix it. But if we go on fighting all the time, like some husband and wife, they're living together for 40 years or 30 years just fighting. But that is not the way we don't want to run our mission. Sorry. When I see a fight somewhere, I tell them, hey, this is very good. And I tell this to husband and wife also. If you have a trouble, don't sleep until you have solved it. Or even better, don't eat until you solved your problem. You can be sure you solve your problem real fast, because your stomach is going to say, come on, let's sit down and fix this problem, no? Fix your problems and go on with life happily and positive. That is the recommendation, and that's the way I want to run this mission. As long as I live, I want to run it this way. If I have to work day and night just talking to people to stop fighting, this is my job, then I will talk day and night. And they go on working without fighting. So, and I hope when I'm dead and you have your missions, then you will run it like that too. Because I don't like it when the temples are negative atmospheres. Nobody wants to do anything. Threatening, fighting. Oh God, who wants to be in such a place? And if you want to run it later in another way, well, that's your problem. I can control what others will do. I can only recommend what I want to do. Srila Prabhupada, he had many disciples, and they were also fighting sometimes. And Prabhupada would say, come here, my friends. He said, so what's the problem? Oh, I don't like this person. Oh, you don't like him. You want to do something nice? Okay, you go here and you go there. Okay, bye-bye. Do something. Finished. Prabhupada didn't support continuous aggression or conflict situation. He did not. And then the one had a chance to show his sincerity there. The other person had the chance to show his sincerity there. One time one devotee came to Prabhupada and said, 2 devotees left me. They went to this city and they don't want to come back. They are my man. Prabhupada said, why they don't want to come back? Oh, they don't want to come back. They want to stay there. Then he said, then how can you say they're your man? They don't want to come back to be with you. They are not your man. Huh? The man you have are those who love you and don't want to go away. They're your man. If somebody wants to go away, well, he has to see for himself where he wants to be. And there's so many other good sannyasis there in other parts of our mission. And when I say sannyasi, I don't really mean those who are wearing the sannyas dress. I mean all those devotees who are renounced that spirit and want to do only what Krishna wishes. They're the real sannyasis at heart. Otherwise, taking sannyas, it's just an external thing. It's good, people have some respect for the sannyasi, but only some. You still have to behave and do something wonderful, otherwise it will not last too long either, that respect. But basically a sannyasi is getting a lot of respect in this transcendental tradition. You see, when we went to Chaitanya Gaudiya Math yesterday, because sannyasi immediately is given some special consideration, more than other devotees. Why? Because he has made an important step in his life. Very important step. Oh my Lord, let me become an instrument of your love. He signed the contract for life.